Assalamu alaikum. Sisters and brothers, I'm Malik Hodge, and this is We Reflect the Light. This is where we look at current events through the lens of the unsealed scriptures. That gives us detailed information on what is taking place in the world today and what is going to take place in the world in the near future. From the unsealed scriptures of the Bible, sisters and brothers, we are at war. Sisters and brothers, the war in the Middle East, the war in heaven, which is the Middle East, is directly connected to the original black man and woman here in the hills of North America. Sisters and brothers, the Abrahamic covenant is a covenant given to Abram's seed, given to Abraham or shared with Abraham until thy seed have that I being God, given until thy seed have I given this land, from the river Egypt to the great river, the river Euphrates. Sisters and brothers, let's look at that. The Abrahamic covenant states, sisters and brothers, in that day God made a covenant with Abram, saying, until thy seed have I given this land. From the river of Egypt unto the great river, the river Euphrates. Sisters and brothers, the messenger of the covenant, the breaker of the seven seals, Master Suleiman, is has provided us with a perfect detailed message from the unsealed scriptures that gives us a clear understanding on the Abrahamic covenant, a clear understanding that this covenant is our vision. Sisters and brothers, the covenant is our vision. A people without a vision will perish. Sisters and brothers, The messenger of the covenant has provided us with the understanding that the unsealed scriptures let me say it like this. The messenger of the covenant is preaching, teaching, and explaining exactly what the Abraham's vision was, how many years it was, and how many years, the conditions, explain all the details of our sojourn. However, the messenger of the covenant is the only one teaching us the covenant, reminding us of the covenant, bringing the understanding of the Abrahamic covenant to us in full, letting us know that our enemies, our hidden enemies, are trying to get us to sell out on the covenant, trying to get us to take something else in place of the Abrahamic covenant, to sell out our birthright for a measly pot of soup. Sisters and brothers, our vision is the Abrahamic covenant. And the chief Neiman Louis Farrakhan and his student ministers are working diligently 24/7, blocking the truth, blocking the understanding of who Joshua the Messiah is, blocking the truth of the supreme wisdom lessons, blocking the truth of the unsealed scriptures of Revelations, blocking the Abrahamic covenant, sharing with us that we're not going anywhere, twisting the truth and trying to sell us that we are wicked, We are a people that have been afflicted 24/7, 365 in a strange land that is not ours. Turned upside down. Everything we had was taken from us. Our language, our minds, everything. However, the chief demon Louis Farrakhan, the son of Perdition, calls us sinful, shares with us that we need to atone. When this nation has been built on our backs, this nation is the architect or the producer of the nigga. Sisters and brothers, you don't blame the product. You blame the maker. Now, sisters and brothers, we are a people who have been under the foot, the guidance, and the direction of the man, the devil, let's say it like that, Yakub's, the Caucasian white man, Yakub's grafted devil, the skunk of the planet Earth. The man who makes mischief and bloodshed throughout the land. We've been under his foot, guided and directed by his nature in his world. His world is 100% opposite of ours. His world is 100% oppression on us. the original black man and woman. Sisters and brothers, we have taken on this Caucasian white man's nature. We're living amongst this devil. And I want to say that like this. Let me say it like this. We're living amongst this Caucasian white man. And we are considered in his reality, in his world, animals. We've been written in their constitution as 3/5 of a human. As the Abraham vision of horror states, this reality, this system has the original black man and woman in constant affliction, oppression, 24/7, 365, has and is oppressing and afflicting us to this very day. So, sisters and brothers, this reality, this America reality, this Caucasian man reality is a 100% against our nature. So we have been forced to take on this Caucasian man's ways to just maintain in his society, in his world. A devil Satan, the synagogue of Satan, cannot produce nothing but devils, nothing but mischief makers and murderers. Those shedding blood. This is the conditions that we've been under. So these are This is ways that we have become that we have been fighting against for hundreds of years. And now after hundreds of years, you see the original black man and woman has started using the tactics and the nature of this Caucasian white man. Showing or reflecting his ways. However, sisters and brothers, that's why we have to get away from this devil. Sisters and brothers, we're not wicked people. We are righteous people by nature. We're being this. We're being. Let's see. Showed misrepresented by the chief demon, and the demons, the black-faced Caucasians that look like us, walk like us, and talk like us. Sisters and brothers, demons are Caucasians in black skin, and the scripture calls them the chaff. The scripture calls them wolves in sheep's clothing, given a comparison. In scripture, they're called, what up is it? Goats and rams. They use two different very similar animals. Very similar plants. The wheat and the tear. The tear looks like the wheat. They're very similar. And two, You separate. They look the same. To you separate. You have to separate the tear and the wheat. You can see the difference once it grows up. Then the scripture says, a wolf in sheep's clothing. That means it has an outfit or a costume of a sheep, but is a wolf actually in the inside. Sisters and brothers, this is explaining the demons. And Louis Farrakhan is the chief demon. Louis Farrakhan is the son of Perdition. Louis Farrakhan is the son of a Caucasian white man, a Portuguese Jew named Percival Clark. All right, sisters and brothers. Here we have a picture of the father of the chief demon, Louis Farrakhan. His father is a Caucasian Portuguese Jew from Barbados. Now, sisters and brothers, this information should immediately cause you to get the hell away from this lying devil, the chief demon, Louis Farrakhan. This should cause you to say immediately, when the scripture says a wolf in sheep's clothing, this is exactly who the chief demon is. Who's been spoken on in general? This wolf in sheep's clothing. Now, sisters and brothers, Louis Farrakhan is not of the seed of Abraham. However, you are the seed of your father. Now, Louis Farrakhan and his student ministers and his national spokesman, who is Ishmael Muhammad, will constantly share that your nature can be it's not your nature. It's not that you're the seed of your father. It's God who produced you or who made you in the womb. And sharing that this other definition or understanding of what a devil is. Totally given their own definitions on what a devil is, that is not the understanding or the definition of a devil or Caucasian white man from the Supreme Wisdom Lessons. However, they consistently lie and say that they're representing the messenger, Elijah Muhammad, and Master Farad Muhammad. Now, sisters and brothers, I'll just say that I'm working on a detailed presentation that is going to have the chief demon Louis Farrakhan and his student ministers pose questions and answer their own questions from their own mouths so that we can just point out what was shared by them. And we're going to look at information that speaks for itself, so that, sisters and brothers, you can have a clear understanding. You're going to have to use your own mind, your own brain, to look at the math and add up the truth. Now, if you want to look at the truth and look for all the excuses to not see the truth and not accept the truth, then the information has been given. If you will like to remain ignorant or under the spell of the chief demon, then that'll be on you. However, the information is correct, and the information is given for the original black man and woman to understand where we are in time and understand why our vision is being blocked, and get the understanding of what our vision is and how our vision is being brought in and how our vision is destroying, taking out Satan's world. Sisters and brothers, this is not me working to bring confusion or lies or deceit to you. This is the truth that can easily be proven. Truth so simple, just hit Google for yourself and ask Google or AI, who is Louis Farrakhan's father? Or say, who is Percival Clark's son? Sisters and brothers, Sunday, this past Sunday, which was the 9th, Was it the 10th? It was the 10th. Excuse me. Sunday the 10th of May. On what they call Mother's Day, they spoke on and talked about the women and the mothers. About these leaders and great leaders and things like that. However, sisters and brothers, Farrakhan and his student minister, his national minister Ishmael Muhammad, always will let you know that Master Farad Muhammad's, even though Master Farad Muhammad is white in color, he has a black or original father. That's made known clear. However, sisters and brothers, they will speak on the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's father. Sisters and brothers, why, one, they address Louis Farrakhan's father? Why won't they show a picture on their platform, in their temple of Louis Farrakhan's father? They would say he's some light-skinned Jamaican when they speak on him. However, there's many pictures, or let me say it's many, because I don't know how many pictures they have of him. However, they have pictures of Louis Farrakhan's father. And just show the picture. Sisters and brothers, hold up. Excuse me. Louis Farrakhan, sisters and brothers, this is from a interview by Henry Louis Gates Jr. on Louis Farrakhan. Sisters and brothers, these are just a page, a paragraph out of a portion of the interview. I want to say Henry Louis Gates Jr. said that the interview lasted for hours. Now I don't want I'm I could be wrong, but I think he said somewhere like 5 to 9 hours he spoke with Louis Farrakhan. Now, sisters and brothers, this is just information. This is true. This is information that being showed is coming from the mouth of Louis Farrakhan. So, sisters and brothers, you can, but this is the truth that can be proven easily. However, you allow the chief demon and his student minister to just say and do anything, and you will not use your brain to understand what is being shared, to understand the facts, to understand the biology that you cannot change. No one has to make up lies, deceit, deception, but the chief demon and his student ministers. The chief demon is a liar by nature. His father is a liar, a murderer from the beginning. They abode not in the truth. There is no truth in them. Not one of them are righteous. When they speak of a lie, they speak it of their own. They are liars and the fathers of lies. Sisters and brothers, Farrakhan's mother told him that his father's father was a white Portuguese. All right. I'm going to tell you something Farrakhan said you really want to know. What I think they were members of the Jewish community. So, if Louis Farrakhan's father's parents are Caucasian, white, Portuguese Jews, that makes Louis Farrakhan's father a white, a Caucasian, white man who is a Portuguese Jew. So, That gives us a clear understanding by the facts, by DNA, by the bloodline, that Louis Farrakhan is not the seed of Abraham. Louis Farrakhan is the seed of a Caucasian white man, a devil from the synagogue of Satan, a Portuguese Jew. Now, in the interview, Farrakhan admits, I would prefer that the whole conflict would go away in full. But it's like locked down in a struggle. His feelings toward white appear to be softening, Gates said. Farrakhan said he had an epiphany about the waning of whites' supremacy at a Lionel Richie concert. Hold up, sisters and brothers. Let me. Orlando Perdition, a historic psychologist at Harvard, who has studied West Indian. Listen, excuse me, sister, brother. Let's do this like this. So, I was just letting you read it. However, I'm gonna run through this real quick and give you an understanding what Louis Farrakhan. These words are the words of Louis Farrakhan, not my words, not Louis Henry Gates Jr. words. This is an interview in a Jewish newspaper that you can go look up. So, New York, April 16th, Minister Louis Farrakhan, the controversial Nation of Islam leader, often accused of anti-Semitism, may be part Jewish. In an interview in The New Yorker to be published Monday, Farrakhan revealed that he thinks his father's ancestors may have been Portuguese Jews. Farrakhan was born Louis Eugene Walcott, the son of immigrants from Barbados and Jamaica. His father was light-skinned and had straight hair. Farrakhan's mother told him that his father was a white Portuguese. I'm going to tell you something, Farrakhan said, you really want to know what I think. I think they were members of the Jewish community. Orlando Perdition, a historian of sociologist at Harvard, who has studied West Indian migration patterns, told the New Yorker that nearly all persons of Liberian origin in Barbados and Jamaica are of Sephardic Jewish ancestry. Farrakhan professes to to admire Jews, Gates said, but also said he believes there was a group of Jews who planned the nation's course. I believe that there are very, very wise Jews who plan good, and there are very, very, very wise Jews who plan evil, he adds. I'm not hateful. I am deeply respectful of the Jewish people. Man, I know they are great, but I also know some scoundrels among them. And those scoundrels has to be condemned by them. And if they don't condemn the scoundrel, that's all right, I will, Gates said. Farrakhan, anti-Semitism has the characteristics of psychologist obsession, and once in a while he shows signs of recognizing this. Now, excuse me, brothers and sisters. See what we are at time. All right. Now, sisters and brothers, this is just information that you can access in Google. So, knowing this, you know that Farrakhan's father, if his with his father being a Caucasian, with his father's father and mother being Caucasian Jews from Barbados, Portuguese Jews, the father and the mother then are Caucasian Portuguese Jews. That makes his father a Caucasian Portuguese Jew. Now, sisters and brothers, and just knowing the facts, the truth. Now, there's disbelievers or just plain idiots, ignoramus, just people that refuse, or really disbelieve, refuse to accept the truth, the facts. They want to hold on and try to make the God a lie and the scriptures a lie. Not just Farrakhan's. No, they're calling the scriptures and God a lie. Calling the messenger of the covenant who is giving you the information. You're refusing the truth that is mathematically proven to you. You're refusing it. You're refusing to look and accept what math proves, biology. You are the seed of your father. That, now, why will they always say, well, Master Farad Muhammad's father is original? Because it makes a damn difference if your father is original or Caucasian. It makes a difference with Master Farad Muhammad being white. However, having an original father makes Master Farad Muhammad a white original man. However, they consistently always say that fact. They will not let you get past that fact. Oh, he's white. Master Farad Muhammad is a white man. However, his father is original. But it's the same terminology. It's the same thing taking place. Louis Farrakhan, father, is a Caucasian white man. A devil and a Portuguese Jew from Barbados. Louis Farrakhan, mother is black. So he has black skin. However, his father is a devil. Is a Caucasian white man and a Jew, which makes Louis Farrakhan a Caucasian white man in black skin. Now, sisters and brothers, the scripture gives us detailed information on the chief demon, on the son of perdition. All right. 2 Thessalonians 2, 3 through 7. It says, sisters and brothers, let no man deceive you by any means. For that day will not come unless the falling away comes first. And the man of sin is revealed, the son of perdition. Now, the falling away, sisters and brothers, identifies the time from Elijah Muhammad's being taken and the Nation of Islam falling away, being beheaded, and or left without any leadership. Now, sisters and brothers, Louis Farrakhan admits, he said he didn't want to see any bloodshed. Or he didn't want, he wanted everything to just be okay. However, he states that he was left as the leader, or right, the leader. He's is the spokesperson of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Now, Louis Farrakhan did not take the leadership role in the absence of Elijah, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Louis Farrakhan allowed the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's son, Warith Deen Muhammad, to come out of exile back into the Nation of Islam to take the leadership role and bring in immediately the same thinking, the same teaching, the same mind frame, the same Sunni Islam, and bring it into the Nation of Islam, denounce the messenger, Master Farah Muhammad, and started the Balalians, who Louis Farrakhan was the head imam of the Balalians. Now, Wallace Deen Muhammad made the claim that the assets of the Nation of Islam, that was the nations or the brotherhood, the members, didn't belong to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and they were not in the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's name. They were in the Nation of Islam's name. The Nation of Islam's net worth was $80 million in 1975 at the time of the taking of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Sisters and brothers, Farrakhan allowed Wallace claim that the assets belonged to his father, Elijah Muhammad. And that claim put the Nation of Islam's net worth into probate court, where in probate court, Louis Farrakhan did not contend on behalf of the members that the assets belong to the Nation of Islam, not the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. So in probate court, Wallace gained control over the assets of the Nation of Islam and eventually had to share some of the assets with his siblings or why others. So the Nation of Islam fell away. Wallace sold off, liquidated all the assets, land, businesses, and said we didn't need it. And the Nation of Islam fell away and was beheaded. And after that, after the Nation of Islam fell away, then, sisters and brothers, the scripture is detailed. After the falling away, the scripture said, let no one deceive you by any means, for that day will not come unless the falling away came first. Now, the falling away, the truth is right in your, you don't have to, the truth is right in your face. The facts. This is what happened. This can easily be proven. And then, after the Nation of Islam was gone, after it was liquidated, after it was beheaded and have any leadership, then, and the man of sin is revealed. The man of sin is revealed. The son of perdition. So the scripture lets you know who, after the nation fell away, the man of sin is revealed. The son of perdition, who is Louis Farrakhan. It says the man of sin, okay. All right, sisters and brothers. What is a devil? From the Supreme Wisdom Lessons. What is a devil? Answer, a grafted man which is made weak and wicked, or any grafted live germ from the original is a devil. So, knowing Louis Farrakhan's father is a Caucasian white man, and the scriptures say the man of sin. So he's a devil. It's telling you he's a devil. He's the man of sin. Who is the man of sin? He's weak and wicked by nature. All right. All right, sisters and brothers. Okay. Let's go back to this. The son of perdition. The son of hell. That's what perdition, the son, one, the son of hell. He's the son of perdition. He's the son of a Portuguese Jew. He's the son of he is a direct seed from the synagogue of Satan. No one is these are the facts. No one has to lie or make up anything. These are the facts. This is what the scripture is sharing with us. He's the son of hell. He's the man, He's the man of sin. It's talking about uno, one, the man of sin, the son of hell, the son of a Jew, the synagogue of Satan. That's who he is. Now, who opposes and exalts himself above all that is called God. He's a young guy. You can't, these things is, all you have to do is look at Louis Farrakhan. These are facts. These are detailed information in the scriptures that gives you a clear, detailed understanding of who the chief demon is or who the son of perdition is. Now, let's say that again. Who opposes and exalts himself above all that is called God and that is worship, so that he sits as God in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. Now, sisters and brothers, who has been sitting in the temple of God? In the temple, in Elijah Muhammad's seat, in Master Farad Muhammad, in Master Farad Muhammad said, is the God who's sitting in the temple of God, in Elijah's temple, not mosque, not synagogue, not church, the temple. Who's sitting there claiming that he's God? Who's sitting there in the seat opposed and exalted himself above all? He's that all every week. Oh, he's so beautiful. Oh, there ain't no love. He's a one of he's the he is God. He's the his heart is so. Who's sitting in God's temple? Who is a Caucasian white devil, of the synagogue of Satan in black skin? This no, Louis Farrakhan, the chief demon, showing himself that he is God. Now, sisters and brothers, the son of perdition, the son of hell. Okay, sisters and brothers, now, then you have the scripture And they, or the Nation of Islam, utilizes the scripture often, often. It says that Louis Farrakhan, that Moses asked, see, they use the Quran, and it's written in the Quran as well. However, sisters and brothers, we're going to go into the Bible scripture because we have it right here. You know. And they continue and consistently shares with us that, oh yeah, Elijah Muhammad represents Moses. And Louis Farrakhan is his helper, his spokesperson. He is Aaron. So they always use the version out of the Quran, which I'm not going to bring up. I have it on my presentation I'm working on. However, we're going to use, here we have it in the scripture, in the Bible. And it says, please, Lord, Moses replied, I have never been eloquent, neither in the past, nor since you have spoken to your servant. For I am slow of speech and tongue. And the Lord said to him, who gave man his mouth? Or who makes the mute or the deaf, the sight or the blind? Is it not I, the Lord? Now, go, I will help you as you speak, and I will teach you what to say. But Moses replied, please, Lord, send someone else. Then the anger of the Lord burned against Moses. And he said, is not Aaron the Levite your brother? I know that he can speak well, and he is now on his way to meet you. When he sees you, he will be glad in his heart. You are to speak to him. You are to speak to him and put the words in his mouth. So Moses put the words in Aaron's mouth, or the Honorable Elijah Muhammad put the words in Louis Farrakhan's mouth. I will help both of you to speak, and I will teach you what to do. He will speak to the people for you. He will be your spokesman, and it will be as if you were God to him. So it will be as if the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was God to Aaron. Now, sisters and brothers, here we are given or identifying who the chief demon is again. Aaron. He's Moses' spokesperson. Now, that was. It's clear. Now, sisters and brothers, Aaron, the scripture clearly shares with us you are to speak to him. This is God speaking with Moses or the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. You are to speak to him and put the words in his mouth. I will help both of you to speak, and I will teach you what to do. He will speak to the people for you. He will be your spokesman, and it will be as if you were God to him. Now, sisters and brothers, Aaron was Elijah's spokesman. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Louis Farrakhan, was the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's spokesman. As long as the Honorable Elijah Muhammad put the words in his mouth, he was fine. He was fine. Now, sisters and brothers, they consistently share with you that Louis Farrakhan is there. And the scripture shares that. And the scripture shares he was the spokesman or the spokesperson, the spokesman for the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Now, sisters and brothers, and the Lord said unto Moses, come up to me into the mount, and be there, and I will give thee tables of stones and a law and a commandment which I have written, that thou mayest teach them. And Moses rose up and his minister Joshua. Now, listen. Moses and Joshua went up into the mount. to receive the tablets. Now, and he said unto the elders, tarry ye here for us until we come again unto you. So stay here, tarry here until we, plural, we, not I, we. So Moses and Joshua went into the mount, and Moses, or the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, shared with them to tarry here. Stay here until we come again unto you. And behold, Aaron, and here, here are with you. So they were the people were left with Aaron and Hur. If any man have any matters to do, let him come unto them. All right. Now, sisters and brothers, the people were left with Aaron. Under Aaron's leadership, Moses and Joshua, or the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, was no longer there to give him the words to say to the people. Joshua was gone into the mount with Moses, or the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and Aaron was leading the people. So the son of perdition, who was Aaron, all these things point out what's taking place. Who's sitting in the seat? Giving you more details on Louis Farrakhan. Now, you read on in the scripture, Louis Farrakhan, who is Aaron, has now turned the children of Israel backwards. He has them worshiping the golden calf. He has them worshiping Scientology. He's letting devils into the nation of Islam. Devils are not devils anymore. He wants to save America. He don't want to leave America. All these things that Aaron, the chief demon Louis Farrakhan, or the son of perdition, all these things he's doing on his own. Now, then God shares with Moses. He says, then the Lord said to Moses, go down at once, for your people whom you brought up out of the land of Egypt have corrupted themselves. How quickly they have turned aside from the way that I commanded them. They have made for themselves a molten calf, and have bowed down to it. They have sacrificed to it, and said, these, O Israel, are our gods who brought you up out of the land of Egypt. So, sisters and brothers, we're not gonna go through all of that, all of it, but Here we go. Now, then Moses turned and went down the mountain with the two tablets of the testimony in his hands. They were inscribed on both sides, front and back. The tablets were the work of God, and the writing was the writing of God engraved on the tablet. Then Joshua heard the sound of the people shouting. He said to Moses, "The sound of war is in the camp." But Moses replied, "It is neither the cry of victory nor the cry of defeat. I hear the sound of singing." And Moses approached the camp and saw the calf and the dancing. He burned with anger and threw the tablets out of his hands, shattering them at the base of the mountain. Then he took the calf they had made it, burnt it in the fire, ground it in powder, and and scattered the powder over the face of the waters. Then he forced the Israelites to drink it. Now, sisters and brothers, the scriptures clearly shares with us what Aaron did and had the people doing in the absence of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. What Farrakhan done. All these things, all you have to do, sisters and brothers, is look at what Farrakhan has done. Now, this presentation I'm working on. Now, the counterintelligence program. It has a detailed list of objectives that the government shared that they had to carry out, to suppress, to stop, to block the truth from us. Now, sisters and brothers, what did these people do to you? Moses asked Aaron, that you have led them into so great a sin. Sisters and brothers, Moses asked Aaron, what did these people do to you that you have led them into so great a sin? Now, you have a Caucasian white Portuguese Jew, a man of sin, of seed of Satan, the son of hell, sitting in the temple, who has turned the nation of Islam around. And the scripture share with you what Aaron did. Aaron, what have these people what did these people do to you that you led them into so great a sin. Then Aaron shared with Moses, "Do not be angered, my Lord." Aaron replied, "You know, you yourself know that the people are intent on evil. They told me to make us gods who will go before us. For as for this Moses who brought us up out of the land of Egypt, we do not know what has happened to him." Now, sisters and brothers, we're going to leave that part right there. The thing was just to, the scripture says, it tells us Aaron, Moses asked Aaron, "What have these people done to you that you have led them into so great a sin?" So, sisters and brothers, you are being shared that Aaron is leading you into great sin, has you worshiping the golden calf. It's telling you he has you worshiping the golden calf. He'll have you sacrificing. This is what you're doing. The golden calf is Sunnism. He has you worshiping Scientology. What? So the thing is to get you to offer the supreme wisdom lessons away from the to keep you from identifying who the Messiah is, to stop the rise of the Black Messiah, to stop the rise of the Messiah. This is their agenda. And you have, sisters and brothers, now you have to ask yourself, look into Farrakhan, and you will find out that he's a Freemason. So, how can you be a Freemason and the leader of the Nation of Islam? Sisters and brothers, you have to do some homework. Now, many is shared, that Freemasons are used to go undercover. And many Freemasons are Jews in secret. So they're false Jews, they're Jews undercover, perpetrating the fraud as another people and leaders of other people. However, they're of the synagogue of Satan. Now, This is what the scripture is sharing with us. The man of sin, the son of perdition. He's from the synagogue of sin. He's the man of sin. He's sitting in the temple of God. It's so easy. It's just, sisters and brothers, you will allow lies to keep you from the truth. Now, mm, mm, mm. Mm. All right. I didn't mean to keep us this long, sisters and brothers. All right, sisters and brothers. I'm going to bring this to a close. The son of perdition, the chief demon Louis Farrakhan, sisters and brothers, is blocking our vision. He will not speak, will not utter. He will not give you, he will not say. His student ministers will not speak. They will not recite. They will not share our vision with us. They will not speak our vision, the Abrahamic covenant. They will not share with us the 18th verse of Genesis, the 15th chapter. In that day, God made a covenant with Abram, saying, until thy seed have I given this land from the river of Egypt to the great river, the river Euphrates. Our vision. The chief demon, the son of perdition, the man of sin, who is weak and wicked, will not even, he will not, him nor his student ministers have not and will not speak. Verse 18. Because, sisters and brothers, it's against his nature. He is not the seed of Abraham, and he knows it. He knows he is a Jew. He is the seed of a Caucasian white Jew from Barbados, which makes him a black-faced Jew. A black-faced Caucasian Jew, Portuguese Jew. That's who he is. And our vision, he has, it doesn't pertain to him. He will not speak it. He will not share it. So, sisters and brothers, it's easy to recognize who the son of perdition is, who the chief demon Louis Farrakhan is. It states he's Legion, Louis Eugene Grounds, who have turned the NOI backwards, who is blocking our vision, who is trying to get us to take reparations, who's trying to tell us we're not going nowhere, that we're staying here. Who else? Why? This is why he does what he does. He knows he's not going nowhere. He don't want to go nowhere. He loves America. And he tells you that, and then he calls us, said he want the worms to eat our ass. Sisters and brothers, the chief demon Louis Farrakhan is calling God a lie. He despises the Abrahamic covenant because it doesn't apply to him. He knows he's not the seed of Abraham. Sisters and brothers, and the pictures, the truth lets you know that he's not the seed of Abraham. It doesn't apply to him. So he refuses, not refuse, he won't speak it. That's why you have the messenger of the covenant. The one that came after him that will clean you up, that will remind you of the covenant. The one that will come with fuller soap to clean us off, to clean this the shit that Farrakhan has put on us off of us. These lies and lie after lie. However, sisters and brothers, I'm going to bring this to an end. And I'm working on a detailed presentation that's going to be real nice. Real informational. That a lot of the things you don't have to get it from me. You're going to get it from the horse's mouth and the answers. Everything that's being shared, get it from the horse's mouth. And even then, all these things can be proven. And sisters and brothers, you have no excuse to not understand what's taking place and what's going on when the messenger of the covenant is giving us detailed information on what's taking place from the unsealed scriptures. Detail after detail, scripture with more detail, put more and more details, giving you more details of on the subject. However, sisters and brothers, any day, the war in heaven is going to continue or heat up. Or continue. And when this next battle begins, it's going to spiral quickly. It's going to cause quickly kicking America, Britain, and the dragon out of the Middle East, sieging false Israel, and then false Israel will be under siege and destroyed. However, sisters and brothers, the war will start what they call World War III. It's going to the um, national there will be a hold up, I skipped my mind. There will be a food shortage. There will be a world economic collapse that will push us into the war of Armageddon, which is a European war. And before false Israel is destroyed, America is going to attack us all. And then false Israel will be, while false Israel is under siege, and then false Israel will be destroyed. Sisters and brothers, I'm going to bring this to an end and greet you in the greeting words of peace. Assalamu alaikum.